What's up, vape fam? Live mixing finally returning. Sorry, it's kind of a day off. Had to go to the pulmonologist. So it was kind of an interesting visit. It was the first time I'd ever seen this guy, and the reason I had to actually go see him was about a year ago they found a little spot on my lungs. I actually was in the hospital for my Crohn's when they found it, and they just decided, well, let's go ahead and flush his lungs and take a biopsy, right? So everything came back normal. They were like, it's really nothing. You don't really have to worry about it. But then anytime I'd go in to get scanned or a chest x-ray or anything like that for my Crohn's, or also I had kidney cancer a few years back and they removed part of my kidney. So I have to constantly keep checking that. So anytime they do x-rays or CAT scans, they would see this thing and everyone always brought it up. So eventually they were like, hey, you should really just go see a pulmonologist, just, kind of get a starting relationship with one and kind of keep track of it. So did that, went in. He was really cool, but he was kind of like, why are you here? And I told him the whole thing. It's like, well, every time they see this, they feel obligated to bring it up, right? He said, they already biopsied it. It's nothing to worry about. We'll keep track of it, but you don't really need to come back here for another 6 months. We'll do another CT, see how it's doing. He's like, and kind of the rule is after a 2-year period, if it hasn't changed, biopsies keep coming back negative. We don't really keep track of it too much after that. So that was cool. And then he asked me, he said, are you a smoker? And I was like, no, I quit smoking, about 5-6 years ago. And then he saw my paperwork. He was like, well, wait, you're a vapor though. And I was like, yeah, I do vape. And he was like, well, that's really not the way we recommend anyone go about stopping smoking. And then I told him, I said, well, if you look at where they did my lung flush and all of that, I was like, did you even think I was a smoker? And you could tell he kind of didn't want to answer that question, but he was like, yeah, you can kind of tell you were a smoker. He's like, I would have never guessed you smoked a pack and a half for 20 years. He was like, and I really didn't think I wouldn't have thought you were a vapor. And he tried to get me, he was like, well, why don't we give you like Nicotrol or get the Nicorette inhalers, things like that. And he mentioned another one. And when he actually gave me the paperwork for it, because I was just kind of humoring him, it almost looked like a vape. Like it had the medicine was suspended in propylene glycol. Uh, it wasn't like the Nicotrol is actually a spray that hits like the back of your throat and absorbs through that soft tissue. It doesn't actually get into your lungs. This one you actually inhaled fully. And I kind of sat there and talked to him. I was like, you're just trying to give me basically a vape, right? And we kind of had a whole conversation about that. But it was interesting because as I'm sitting there talking to him, he finally kind of breaks not breaks character, but breaks that kind of professional thing. And he says, he's like, actually, I've never seen any vapor come in here with any kind of issues. He's like, but we're not really supposed to say that. He's like, it's just not the recommended way to quit. He was like, but he's like, your lungs look fine other than that spot. So you do you, which I thought was just kind of funny being a pulmonologist. And it's always funny when you can kind of get a doctor to break that kind of doctor almost command presence that they like to have. All right, let's see what's going on in chat. Chasing Clouds, yeah, I'm missing a couple of flavors for your pumpkin roll. I'm very sorry. I did order them up. They should be here, I think tomorrow or the next day. These actually came pretty damn quick, it looks like. So next live mixing, I'll do up that one. Also, what was the other recipe that you said you would, it was the only recipe you might consider mixing up like 16 ounces up? Because I want to mix that one up too. Let's see here. Boost, what's up? I'm glad you can make it. All right, so what we're gonna do today, I actually wanted to mix up a couple of recipes. One I wanted to mix up that's like my favorite lemon cake ever. And it comes from Mindfloodz. Let's take a look at this recipe here real quick. This is his lemon custard cake. Now, I think he did this up like right when Capella's custard cake hit. All right, the lemon berry, I did see that one. All right, cool. I think I'm missing a couple from, or at least one from that one as well, Chasing Cloud. So, yeah, next Monday we'll mix up both of those because I definitely want to try whatever one you think you would do 16 ounces of because that sounds dope. And then also the pumpkin roll. All right, so for Mindfloodz Lemon Custard Cake, yeah, pretty sure he did this like right around the time Capella's custard cake came out. But it's one of those recipes you could really just look at all the ingredients and know this thing is fucking delicious. He's got Inaware custard, custard cake, and custard premium as, kind of his custardy base there. Inaware's lemon cake, I think, is amazing. Same with Pandoro. And shockingly, I'd never actually tried the two in combo until I tried this recipe out. So yeah, I'm pretty pumped to give this one a go again. I mixed this up back when he first released it back in January and loved it. I think I vaped through like probably about 120 mils of this. Then I haven't gone back to it since. We'll just do up a small tester, being live mixing. I'm not going to try and mix up 120 mils or anything like that. Then also we are going to do Chasing Clouds and flavor reviews. Basic Bitch 3 Strawberry Ice Cream. Now I dig strawberry ice cream vapes, and this is kind of another one you can just look at all the flavors and know this works. I did worry a little bit about Red Touch being at 4% and then also having Strawberry Ripe at 2 because I get a hell of a green note off of both of those. But I think with Cap Sweet Strawberry at 3 and then also the TFA Whipped Cream being at 3, it'll probably mask a lot of that green note. So I'm anxious to see if this is one that uses these two flavors, Red Touch and Strawberry Ripe, that is mixed to a point I don't get any type of green note. Yeah, Leo, I agree. TFA Whipped Cream is an amazing blender. I'm assuming that's all it's really doing here because, I don't know, maybe you get some decent whipped cream note at 3%, but Usually if I see it as the only whipped cream, I know it's really just there for emulsification, but at 3%, there's probably some whipped cream note to it, I would imagine. All right, let's see. You probably baked 500 plus mils of lemon berry pie. Nice. Which one's a classic, the Basic Bitch 3 or the lemon berry? Lemon berry looks killer. Then also, we are going to work a little bit on my Twinkie recipe. Now, there are a bunch of Twinkie recipes out there, and most of them use some type of yellow cake to it. Wayne has one that I thought might be really good, but it uses TFA's toasted almond in it, and it doesn't matter what percentage you put toasted almond in a mix, I'm gonna taste that fucking toasted almond as toasted almond. Now, I think he was trying to use it as like some type of bridge, maybe, because he had it so low. But for me, eh. And then he also had one-on-one cake yellow at a high enough percentage that you really get that yellow cake kind of flavor. And if you've ever eaten a Twinkie, you don't really get so much of that yellow cake flavor. You get kind of a nondescript creamy cake that if I was to blind taste test, the only way I would know that it's a yellow cake is just by the sponginess of it. I don't really get much yellow cake flavor necessarily to it. And then almost every Twinkie recipe I've seen, the cream part of it is nowhere near enough. It's always low in the background. And I kind of understand why people would do that. But if you eat a Twinkie, the cream is like the biggest part to it. So I'm missing a flavor that I think will really pull this all together, and I want to try, which is Wonder Flavors Philadelphia Butter Cake. I think that at a low percentage will kind of calm down One-on-One's Golden Sponge Cake, because it kind of has that crispy bottom to a yellow cake, and it's a bit much for a Twinkie. But we'll see if we can kind of dial these down, maybe get something decent. But first, I definitely want to do this right here, the lemon custard cake, because this is an amazing recipe. All right, what am I vaping on? I've got the Danny V2 here. Actually, let me swap over while we're talking about this stuff. On the Vert 2 and Series stack. Now, normally, recipes that I do that I know I'm going to vape series, I kind of crank up. But I'm actually vaping my custard-filled flaky pastry recipe, which is not really super pumped up flavor wise, but it actually comes across in series really well. Liquid Barn being at 5 should also be rich enough to cancel out any green note. Yeah, I think so too. So yeah, hopefully I won't get any green note off of that. I don't think I will, considering the other flavors that are in the mix, and I'm pretty pumped to try any strawberry ice cream or strawberry milkshake recipes. All right. Move some stuff out of my way. Let's do this lemon custard cake first. Now, Mindfloodz says this is one of his favorite lemon recipes that he's ever made, and I would have to agree. He's got a couple of different lemon recipes that he's posted. This one is easily the best. Vaping bread pudding today. Nice. All right. Go ahead, mix this sucker up. You'll see my ridiculously low level of nicotine. Not 120. I'm going to do 12 instead of just like 5 or 10. Anytime I do a tester of just 5 mils, the difference in flavor between that and then say if I mix it up again at like 15 or 30 mils is very different. So I don't really think I get the full actual taste of a recipe unless it's at least 12 or 15 milliliters. So we'll do 12 on this one. All right, tester thing. I'm not going to use the overhead camera for the scale, basically because my camera freaks out on being that close to kind of the tops of the bottle. It doesn't know what to focus in on, and I can't pull the camera back enough without it just being like right here in the kind of headshot. So just try and kind of chit chat through it some. All right, so it's got Inawera Custard Cake 0.12. Now, if you don't have Inawera Lemon Cake, oh no, it's Inawera Custard, my bad. Let's say everybody has Inawera Custard, I would imagine. 0.12. There we go. And Capella's Custard Cake. This is one of my favorite cakes out there at the moment. I actually thought about using this in place of like the Wonder Flavors Philadelphia Butter Cake, just to add that kind of non-distinct kind of creamy cake feel. All right, in this he has got it at 4%, so 0.48. There we go. But I really dig Capella's Custard Cake. I think it is an excellent flavor. All right, now Custard Premium, which I know everybody's kind of got their favorite custard flavors, but I would say Custard Premium is easily mine. Got this at 1%, so it's going to be 0.12. Here we go. Then Inawera Lemon Cake, which I actually like Inawera Lemon Cake better than Pandoro. I know a lot of people, lemon cake wise, just rant and rave about Pandoro, but I think I like Inawera's Lemon Cake a little bit better. He's got it at 2%, so 0.24. There we go. Then our Pandoro. And don't get me wrong, Pandoro is an amazing flavor. Apple Custard Cake sounds good. Yeah, it does. Bouncing around between Melonberry Blaster, New Hampshire Pumpkin Cake Roll, and Apple Custard Cake. Yeah, that Apple Custard Cake sounds amazing. Do you have that one posted, or is it somebody else's? I think you're like me and you vape your own stuff more than anything anybody else's. Just from the way it sounds. All right, 0.12 Pandoro is a work in progress. Oh, okay, cool. Well, I'm definitely going to keep an eyeball out for that when it finally gets released. Sweetener for this one is Cap Super Sweet at 0.06, which is 0.5%, right? Yeah. On the money. All right, our additive for my weak need purposes is 0.23. Now, I do normally add this to testers because it does kind of change the flavor. And normally if I make a recipe, I'm going to take into account what, additive is going to do to the flavor a little bit, add that little bit of almost rustic type of flavor to it. PG is 2.54. Grabbed the wrong one, so this is going to be 10.37. I grabbed the BG. What I get for talking and not looking. All right. Now PG 2.54. All right, there we go. Walk back over here. Shake this bad boy up. You always have new stuff. You always want to make. I'm pretty much the same way. I vape most of my, because I make my recipes for me, really. I rarely go out of my way to make a recipe that I'm like, hey, I bet a bunch of people would like this, which is why I did not post recipes for the longest time. Like, if you go back on my All the Flavors page and even go back further to ELR, I didn't start posting until like, I don't know, 2020, 19 maybe on ELR, but I've been mixing several years before that, but I never posted recipes because A, I wasn't all that interested, and then B, I was just making stuff for me, not necessarily making stuff that I thought a bunch of people would like. And also, I make a lot of cranberry and recipes that use like eucalyptus and anise. And there's not a lot of people that really dig those flavorings, especially like the eucalyptus and anise. And then the cranberry, I tend to go a little high on for different things, but I never posted really any of those. I actually changed one of my recipes on all the flavors, my Aurora Borealis ice cream, because initially it had a lot of cranberry in it that just never saw people use cranberry much in recipes. So kind of changed it up for a little bit more mass appeal. All right. So I've got the Asgard Mini on top of the Keen here. That's what we're going to test this with. Figure with these, I just go ahead and do full blown dual coil mech. These are 0.1 aliens. Yeah, that's as good as I remember. Now this actually, with a few days steep, the lemon kind of calms down a little bit, but it's definitely a lemon cake. Got kind of a really nice frosting note to it. It's a very, very moist cake. It's easily the best lemon cake recipe I've ever come across. Facing clouds, yeah. I don't know what my last count is as far as how many recipes I have, but I've got an app on my phone that I know has like 300 and some odd recipes. And then I've got a bunch written down because that's kind of how I started out, was I just wrote down recipes and then would use like ELR to kind of calculate it all, mix it up until I found a couple of apps that actually do it pretty well. And like I said, it wasn't until about 2020, maybe early 2020, late 2019 that I actually started posting recipes. Joshua, absinthe vape could be pretty banging. Yeah, I bet it could. I've never actually tried an absinthe vape. I love the alcohol absinthe. I don't drink a whole lot, but that is one I do enjoy. After watching Noted last night, all I want to mix is lemon custard cream donut. Yeah. All I want to get that Boston cream pie uh, one shot from DSO. I had tried the strawberry donut before and I liked it, but I didn't really think it was anything super special. But I've not tried that Boston cream one. I definitely want to give that a go. I bet that thing's amazing. Yeah, this, if you have not tried Mindfloodz Lemon Custard Cake, you definitely should. It's a little bitey on the lemon at first. Like even now, I love lemon vapes, so like it's not bothering me at all. But I think if you're a little apprehensive or sensitive to lemon, you're probably going to want to give this one about 3 or 4 days, and then that lemon bite really tones down and it's very nice, very smooth lemon. Cake is moist. It's got a very nice icing level to it. It's just a damn good lemon custard cake. And it's from Mindfloodz. Mindfloodz is definitely one of my favorite mixers out there. Pretty much everything he does up is banging for the most part. All right. So we got that. I'm going to vape this for a little bit. Get everything together for Chasing Clouds and flavor reviews. Basic Bitch 3 strawberry ice cream. I need to use my strawberry ripe and my red touch anyway, so this is a good time to do that. I don't use them much. I use strawberry ripe more than I do red touch. Red touch I get a big time green note from, but strawberry ripe, its green note is easy to cover up. Even if you just mix it with TFA strawberry, that green note pretty much goes away. Grab another bottle. I'm the same way, mix for myself mostly, and from my partner's menu. And usually keep things private. Yeah, I've noticed a lot of mixers on all the flavors, especially. I don't really fuck with ELR too much anymore. I know whatever's going on with them at the moment has a bunch of people leaving, but I left a long time ago. I don't like the way that site is kind of laid out, and I don't like their flavoring database, and how easy it is to mess up the name, and then all of a sudden the name is added to the database. And I think that's just a horrible setup. They have kind of cleaned that up a lot in the last few years. You can see the green note and red touch, yeah. But I think all this will cover it up, especially Capella Sweet Strawberry. It's a damn good strawberry flavor for kind of covering up other strawberries' greenness. All right. Basic Bitch 3 Strawberry Ice Cream. So I needed something, strawberries and cream ASAP, and I decided to whip something together real quick that I thought would work well. And I was right that it's super basic but delicious strawberry ice cream / strawberries and cream recipe. Huh. Wait a second. So I think even though the FA Red Touch is the highest percentage, it's not the main flavor of strawberry that you will taste. Great backup flavor. So which strawberry do you think you taste more of? All right. Instead of reading through all that, I'm going to go ahead and mix. But yeah, I would imagine sweet strawberry might come through more in this than red touch or strawberry ripe, but or an amalgamation. All right, so we want to mix this up. Again, we'll do 12. All right. Start out with our red touch here at 0.48. I love the smell of red touch. Out of the bottle, it smells amazing. Just once I vape it, that green note kills it. Then our strawberry ripe at 0.24. I have like the old school glass bottle of strawberry ripe. 4. Cap super sweet. 1% cap super sweet. Oh Lord. All right, sweet strawberry 0.36. Capella Sweet Strawberry is one of the strawberries I do like because I don't get any green note from it. It's definitely artificial, but I still really like it. It has a nice kind of syrupy sweetness to it. It's not my favorite strawberry, but it's still pretty damn good. Come on now, scale. Messing with me. Then Liquid Bar and Vanilla Ice Cream, 0.6. This smells amazing out of the bottle. Just kind of the room note to it is pretty damn good. TFA whipped cream, 0.36. TFA whipped cream is one of my favorite utility flavors. It's just so good at emulsification. 3.6. I use it in my whipped cheesecake recipes because I need that cheesecake and all the whipped creams and the sweet cream in it to really mix together. Otherwise, it doesn't taste like an actual whipped cheesecake. I started out without it. A one-on-one does that emulsification thing a little bit, but nowhere near as good as TFA whipped cream. So at first you could kind of get a separation. It was almost just cheesecake with like an absolute fuck ton of whipped cream sitting on top. But once I added in the TFA whipped cream, it mixed it all together real nice, and you got that super light, fluffy cheesecake instead of kind of, the denser cheesecake you're normally used to. Our additive, 0.23. PG, 1.48. I'm going to actually grab the PG this time. PG, 10.37. There we go. Yeah, I'll definitely say this smells amazing. Any suggestions for a proper sour or sharp custard? Sour or sharp custard. I mean, if you're sensitive to some type of butyric note, you might try something like one of the DX sweet creams or Bavarian cream, but that's kind of a cheat because it's not going to really apply to everybody. Yeah, Innerware is a good authentic custard for sure. Let me vape down this lemon cake some. Sour or sharp? Now, there's some creams that come across as sharp. Missed or free? Yeah, you missed mixing up Mindfloodz Lemon Custard Cake, which I'm trying to kind of vape out of my wicks right now. It's an amazing custard cake. Definitely check it out. Oh wait, you might try something like Cream Fresh at slightly higher percentages gets a sharp note to it. Same thing with Vape Train's Milk Fresh. Slightly higher percentages. They don't necessarily get totally sour. Now, Cream Fresh will at higher percentages. It will get a little bit of a sour, sharp note to it, but you'd probably have a little bit of trouble keeping the density of the custard. You would need something else to keep that custard dense and not from just becoming kind of a custard cream or creme anglaise at that point. But that might work. All right, jump back to this. I've about got this lemon custard cake out of the wicks. So far in our poll, Do most authentic-ish strawberry flavors give you a green note? Answers were yes, no, and what the hell is authentic-ish? 57% so far have said yes, 43 said no. Order all. I mean, you can't go wrong with milk fresh, cream fresh, Dinnerware custard. Those are all damn good flavors and very, very useful. But I think cream fresh at slightly higher percentage might give you that kind of somewhat sour-ish sharp note to it. All right. I think that's all vaped out. Let's give this Basic Bit strawberry ice cream a try. It smells so good. That is really good. It is heavy strawberry. This actually tastes, I like this combo of Red Touch, Strawberry Ripe, and Sweet Strawberry. This is a damn good little strawberry trinity you got going on here, because it still tastes like an authentic strawberry to me. I almost get a tinge, just a tinge of that green note, but it's not so much a green note. It's more kind of, as you get to the top of the strawberry, you know, it gets a little less ripe, a little whiter, almost closer to the top, or almost a pinkish instead of deep red. And those to me are like the best strawberries. This has that note to it fully. I'm getting the ice cream, but it's definitely in the background. But I think if I let this steep for a couple of days, that Liquid Bar and vanilla ice cream is really going to come to the forefront. So definitely want to give this one. I might mix this up. I might mix up 30 or 60 mils of this, let it steep for a few days. Flavor West yogurt, Steve-O, that's a damn good suggestion right there, because Flavor West yogurt does kind of have that almost sour note to it. I use yogurt so little that I didn't even think about that. Ever tried Nick salts in my mixes? Do you think the flavors seem flat in comparison to Freebase, where the flavors seem more distinguished and layered? I don't use Nick salts, but the vape company that I worked for a while, now they did, and I would notice on testing, like when we would come up with recipes and mix everything up, on testing the Nick Salt version of almost every single commercial recipe they did, the Nick Salt version seemed a little more reined in, a little more suppressed. I mean, it was all there, like everything about the recipe was there, but it just seemed a little kind of, I don't know, dulled down just a hair. You also mix 65-30. Yeah, Chasing Cloud says he uses Nick salts and everything. He doesn't notice any kind of difference whatsoever, but he also does 65-35. That could be part of it, I guess. But I don't know. Like, we mix most of our Nick salt stuff at 60-40 or 50-50. RDA is the Asgard Mini on top of the Keen. It has a pair of Twisted Timmy's Aliens in there coming out to 0.1. Space coil. Might start a debate here. Space coils or contact coils, and why? I don't know. I haven't used space coils in so long. I don't really think I couldn't offer much to that debate. I use contact coils almost exclusively now. It's been a while since I've actually tried to use any type of spaced coils. Yeah, Chasing Clouds and Flavor Reviews, kudos, man. I will definitely leave you a 5-star review on this recipe right here because it is really good, and I'm loving the strawberry note off of it. I can't wait to kind of give it a little bit for the Liquid Barn vanilla ice cream to and the uh, maybe some of that whipped cream note too to mix with it and kind of get that cream element pop up a little bit. But yeah, definitely A plus. Kudos on this one. And I'm definitely going to steal that kind of strawberry trinity you got going on there. It reminds me of mixing strawberry ripe, like TFA strawberry ripe and TFA strawberry, but with an even sweeter strawberry note from that Capella. So I really dig it. The room note is nice as fuck too. My whole office now smells like strawberries. You would have thought space coils are easier to get working due to barely having any hotspots, therefore less pulsing required. I don't know. I don't mind kind of the pulsing and pinching anyway. It's just become force of habit. And I don't, I mean, I guess, yeah, I guess space coils were a little bit easier. Gonna have to mix some now. This strawberry, yeah, it's damn good, man. All right, what else am I vaping on over here? I've got the red version, exact same setup, just in red. In the fall, I like a lot of cranberry recipes, but also a lot of white chocolate recipes. And I've got a ton of white chocolate recipes, but probably my favorite is the one that I posted to all the flavors. I actually modified it recently, but it's my white chocolate overdose custard is what I got right here in this. I don't know why white chocolate screams like fall and winter to me, but it just does. It's kind of like pumpkin spice for a lot of people or pumpkin roll for a lot of people. To me, white chocolate and peppermint scream fall and winter. So I do a lot of those kind of mixes during that time. But I figured I wanted to try my white chocolate overdose custard again. And with Flavor Jungle releasing the ultimate vanilla custard, I wanted to try and find a use for that. I guess I'll do my little review for it right here. Basically, I tried the ultimate vanilla custard when it came out, and you can tell what they're, Jungle Flavors kind of does that thing where they take a specific flavoring and then they try to make it better. In this case, they picked the wrong flavoring to try and make better because I think it would be extremely hard to one up it. And that's Capella's Vanilla Custard V1. That is clearly what they are trying to kind of one up. And they don't really get it. It's not as kind of rich custardy as Vanilla Custard V1. One thing I'll give it though is the vanilla note in it doesn't really have that greasy kind of element that Capella V1 has. A lot of people don't like that kind of greasy vanilla note that V1 has, so they'll let it steep for a week or two just to kind of get that note out of it. I personally kind of really like that greasy vanilla note to it. It makes it really good. So like I'll shake and vape Vanilla Custard V1, no problem. But I noticed like with certain other flavorings. So if you wanted to mix vanilla with any type of chocolate, like a vanilla custard with any type of chocolate, that ultimate vanilla custard worked really well. So I ended up actually adding it to my white chocolate overdose custard, which before only had one custard in it, and it was Capella's V1. So I decided, well, let's try adding this to the mix, see if we can up it a little bit. Basically, because my problem with Capella's custard V1, once you start pumping it up too high, it's almost like that. It's almost a weird kind of buttery, greasy vanilla note gets away from it to a point I don't like it. So like a lot of early recipes that use vanilla custard V1 at like 7-8%, I couldn't vape those. So I always had to pair it up with another custard to kind of, still get all the great elements of it, but also have the custard more full up in the mix. But I will say that Jungle Flavors Ultimate Vanilla Custard works really well with V1, especially if, you want a more even vanilla note that doesn't have kind of that greasy element to it. And it works really well with chocolate and white chocolate. Asgard Mini is the jam. Can you still get them? Yeah, you can still get the Asgard Mini pretty damn easily. Are there many differences between the Asgard and the Valhalla? Different placement for the airflow. So like the Asgard is mostly side airflow and kind of underside, whereas the Valhalla is all undercoil airflow, which kind of, to me at least, gives a slightly different type of flavor. Like we're talking about custard. So if you had a vanilla custard, the Asgard is really gonna kind of lay everything out that's going on, almost the way a single coil RDA would do that, but still punch you in the face. Something like the Valhalla, that custard element to it is really going to take the forefront with a lot of undercoil airflow. So with the Valhalla, you'd think something like the Kennedy 25 or the Nightmare 25. It's that kind of flavor. Whereas the Asgard having that real close compressed chamber, but all side airflow, kind of presents everything a little bit better. But the undercoil airflow, like the Valhalla, is a little bit more punch you in the face. All right, check out chat here. I want to try the eggnog frappuccino. Yeah, I want to try that too when I saw it. That one, and there's another one that was on the front page. Oh yeah, the Strawberry Whirl by Mix-a-Lot. I would love to try that one. Most of these I've tried. This is damn good. Mindfloodz Volcanic Ripoff. And I don't really like coconut, but I don't really get a whole lot of coconut out of it, honestly. Not anywhere near what I should. But yeah, this Strawberry Whirl looks really good. And it's got the red touch in it, but very low. Plus, I almost think you could take red touch out of this. Shisha Strawberry at 2 and Strawberry Jam at 1.5. I don't know if you're really going to taste the red touch much in it at all. But I could totally be wrong. Yeah, Valhalla is like a Kennedy. But yeah, this, just adding that ultimate vanilla custard from Jungle Flavors to this white chocolate overdose custard really sent the custard flavor of it up. And the vanilla mixes with the white chocolate really well. And I've got 3 white chocolates in this recipe. I use the whole Flavor West Flavora white chocolate combo, but that can get a little waxy, almost like a white chocolate bar. So using it in a custard, you really need something else to kind of cream everything up. And Wonder Flavors has a white chocolate milky cream, I think is what it's called, that works for that really, really well. Custard equal undercoil? I mean, yeah, kinda. If you just want the custard to slam you in the face, yeah, an undercoil airflow RDA. Do I use love at all? I used to, but I haven't used it in a while. I don't like hate that flavor or anything. I actually like it, but I just haven't used it in a while. I've got several recipes with it in there. I like Liquid Barnes, what is it, white chocolate peppermint? But I do like love too. Chasing Clouds left us momentarily. All right. Oh yeah, I want to let you guys know. So live mixing going forward, um, I'm gonna kind of change it up some here and there, but I would really like to mix up recipes that you guys want to see mixed up. So I'm going to limit it to 5 per person, but email me, message me, whatever. You can email me jason@sorteal.com. You can hit me up direct message on Instagram. It's @sorteal_JT. You can hit me up on Facebook if you can find me there. You can hit me up on Twitter. It's @Sorteal. And give me some of your favorite recipes that are out there, and then we'll mix them up. And then the ones that I really like, I'll give reviews on all the flavors. That's kind of one of the things I really like to do. So it's kind of like with Chasing Clouds flavor reviews, Basic Bitch 3, strawberry ice cream. I really dig this one, so I'm definitely going to give him a review. I've already given the lemon custard cake a review a long time ago. But if it's a recipe I really like, I will go ahead and give them, the mixer, a review. So submit some recipes to me. They can be your own. They can be just from your favorite mixers. They could be one you just randomly tried. They can be interesting. It really doesn't matter. They don't have to be basic. They can be complex. Some of them, I'm sure I'll have to get some flavors for, but I'm constantly ordering flavors, so that's really not a problem. So don't worry about that. If it has some kind of weird flavoring to it, I'm sure I'll be able to find it, unless they just don't make it anymore. So yeah, no more than 5 per person starting out. But yeah, send me some recipes that you guys want to see mixed up and tried. And then I'd like to go ahead and on some of them actually do the reviews on the live stream. Like we'll go ahead and figure out what we should put for the review description, things like that. So yeah, give me some more recipe ideas. We will mix them up on future live streams. Here in just a second, we will take a look at this Twinkie recipe, and I will eat an actual Twinkie. You got some of your old ones, nice. Very nice. All right, set that off to the side. I'm gonna eat my Twinkie. Yeah, so when I was looking through Twinkie recipes, they all focus so heavily on the yellow cake part of it. If you eat a Twinkie, you don't really get so much yellow cake. It's just kind of a nondescript, creamy sponge cake, and that's it. You don't really get yellow cake out of it. And kind of, like One-on-One's golden sponge cake, which is probably my favorite sponge cake out there. It has like that kind of crisp bottom of a sponge cake. That note is pretty heavy in it, and you don't ever really get that from a Twinkie. And yeah, Steve-O, I'm still smashing Twinkies. I haven't got my recipe right yet. So the only thing is the real thing. Trying to get this recipe right so I can just, save my health from my Twinkie addiction. All right. That's a little too thick. I gotta hydrate. All right. And also, few people email me, hit me up a lot. And I noticed a couple of them were like, I'm sorry to be hitting you up again, or I'm sorry to bug you, or none of y'all are bugging me. Email me, hit me up all you want. I don't care. It's kind of like in my channel, I always try and answer most of the comments. If down the road it just gets too many comments, I might have a little bit of a hard time, but I'm always going to try and answer as many comments, questions, things like that as I can on all of my videos. So if you want to hit me up at any time, it's jason@sorteal.com, or hit me up on Instagram, Twitter. Pretty easy to find out there. And don't feel like you're bugging me, because there's already been several people thought they were bugging me, and you're not. All right. So here is my work in progress Twinkie recipe. Now, at first, I started using One-on-One's Cake Yellow, and then I tried Flavor West Yellow Cake, and then Jungle Flavors Yellow Cake. And Jungle Flavors Yellow Cake is actually probably my favorite combo. I don't want the butterness from the SSA whipped cream. Maybe cream whip from FA and powdered sugar, that might work. Or one-on-one whipped cream and powdered sugar. SSA's whipped cream has that butter note to it that is amazing, but not really what I want in like a sweet cream filling. Just personal preference there. All right, so I used Vape Train Sweet Cream because to me, Vape Train Sweet Cream is almost exactly Twinkie filling. Needs a little bit of help, but not much. And then kind of the Flavor West Creamy Sponge Cake is it's just mostly cream. There's a little bit of sponge cake there, but most of it's just cream. I think it's probably the closest single flavor to a Twinkie, really. Then VSO's Vanilla Cream. I love this flavor right here. VSO's Vanilla Cream is amazing. It needs a little bit of a steep. You're going to say maybe FA. Yeah, I would go with FA if I was going to try that kind of combo. And I might. As far as powdered sugar and a whipped cream, I would definitely go with FA just because of that butter note in SSA. But don't get it twisted. I love SSA whipped cream. But normally I go with one-on-one's whipped cream because I think it's the best whipped cream out there, hands down. All right, so I knew when I did this that I wanted sweet cream and VSO vanilla cream as kind of that cream filling because it just kind of works. It needed to be pumped up a little bit more so, and a little bit more fluffy, I guess. The sweet cream and vanilla cream don't have that necessarily fluffy aspect to them that, you know, Twinkie filling does. So thought I'd use one-on-one whipped cream, and it has a little bit of that emulsification that we talked about with TFA's whipped cream, but not overly heavy. So figured it would work to kind of mix all those creams together, maybe without mixing it into the cake a little bit too much, because I want a little bit of separation between the cake and the cream. All right, so I added fluffy white cake just a hair. This has changed around. I started with fluffy white cake a little bit higher, and it was just too much. The white cake portion just took over. Then I tried angel cake, but angel cake has that, there's a sweetness to it that makes it stand apart from any of the sponge cakes or yellow cakes. So it was kind of a little weird. Fluffy white cake, I may even take this down a little bit. It's just kind of there to add some sweetness, some cakey sweetness to the sponge cake. And golden sponge cake, originally I kind of went with another Twinkie recipe that I saw that used golden sponge cake, and they used it at like 2.5%. So I started out like that, but that kind of, you know, golden brown outer portion to the sponge cake is just way too prominent with one-on-one golden sponge cake. So really doesn't totally do the trick. I would have tried Real Flavors deep fried sponge cake, but I don't have any anymore, unfortunately. And then I kind of thought, well, what if we used Philadelphia butter cake at a small percentage just to kind of tone down that golden sponge cake note some. Fluffy white cake has a touch of, I've never tasted raspberry in fluffy white cake, and I've used it at high percentages. That's interesting that you get a raspberry note from it. All right, so this has actually been modified somewhat where I actually pumped up creamy sponge cake to 3% because I initially had it at like 2, pretty much most every other iteration of this. And then golden sponge cake I knocked down to 1.25. So I have not tried this yet, this whole kind of setup. So I'm gonna mix it up real quick, give it a go, and just see how that goes. I really think I need that Philadelphia butter cake to really make this work, because it will add a bit of a butter note to it, but if I use it low enough, I think kind of it'll mix with the golden sponge cake. Maybe just right, but maybe not. And if it bleeds into the cream, I'm definitely not going to want it. So I want to try it before I finalize this and make it public. But I also want to give this a go. And then if you guys have any suggestions, I mean, you've already made a few. I might try that FA powdered sugar kind of combo and see where we get with that. Let's go ahead and mix this up and give it a test. I got to try and vape some of this strawberry out. Philadelphia butter cake. That's one of my favorite Wonder flavors right there. That's an amazing flavor. I would say that and whipped cream fresh are two of my favorite Wonder flavorings. And I like whipped cream fresh so much because it's the only whipped cream that will really sit on top no matter what. Leo, I did try Wonder Flavors cream filling in this a couple of different times, but I don't know, it adds a strange note to the creams. Maybe if it was the only cream I was using, but as soon as I add another cream to it, it gets this weird kind of, I don't know, almost an alcohol-y type of off note. It may steep out, so I may go back and try that again and let it steep longer. But I did, when I tried it, I let it steep for about 4 or 5 days, and I still kind of got that, not even an alcohol note, but it's something similar that's just sitting there in the cream. So we'll just have to, I might play with that again, because I thought for sure that mixed with creamy sponge cake, where it's kind of, 70-30 cream to cake, would pretty much do the trick, but it really didn't. All right. Let me give this a try. But yeah, I think the problem I have, at least with almost everybody's Twinkie recipe, is the fact that that yellow cake, or that yellow sponge cake, need to open the damn bottle and check it out. Yeah, it's a damn good flavor. Don't get me wrong. I love Wonder Flavors cream filling. It does need a steep, though, to get that. I don't know. Alcohol is the best way I can think to describe it, but it's really not that. All right, 0.36 on creamy sponge cake. But once it kind of gets out of there, I love that flavor. It's just a nondescript cream. There's no vanilla to it, nothing like that. It's just kind of the mouthfeel of, like, a Twinkie filling. The only problem with doing this one up on live mixing is the fact that creamy sponge cake takes it steep. So I'll have to kind of, I don't know, gauge how it's going to, oh wait, I did not have fluffy white cake out. Give me a second. Put it. Happens when you What happens when you do a bunch of mixing and you don't put all your flavors back in order? All right, so 0.12 fluffy white cake. And this still may be a little bit too high in this, but we'll see. Golden sponge cake. Now, I really dig this flavor from one-on-one. But at a higher percentage, like I said, that kind of golden brown note just came across too much, and I never get that off of a Twinkie. Vape Train Sweet Cream, which is pretty much Twinkie feeling all on its own. One of the reasons that if I'm using something that I actually want a sweet cream to, I never use Vape Train Sweet Cream because it's too sweet. The sweet cream is not really supposed to be sweet, it's just supposed to not be sour. We'll do sweetness at the end. VSO vanilla cream 0.24. And this is just a standard, this isn't the raw. There we go. One-on-one whipped cream 0.15. This is hands down my favorite whipped cream out there. It has like if you've ever had creamy whipped cream, you know, like if you go to the store, you can buy whipped cream, and then there's always like the blue version which says creamy whipped cream. That's what one-on-one whipped cream is. Like whipped cream with just a little bit more body than normal. All right, sweetness. Oh, 09. Nope. Our additive at my weak need 0.23. BG 2.38. Really need the one. Yeah, you definitely do. If you like whipped cream flavors, it doesn't have kind of the butteriness that SSA's whipped cream has, and it doesn't have the sweetness that FA Cream Whipped has. But overall, I think it's just a better whipped cream than any of them. 10.37. And you can taste the difference. Like you do a recipe you normally use, say FA's whipped cream with, swap it out with one-on-one's whipped cream and you will notice a big difference. Kind of like whipped creams a lot of times are hard to taste in a mix, not one-on-one's whipped cream. You know it's there. And like I said, it does do that kind of emulsification thing a little bit. So if you want not as much of that going on as TFA offers, it's definitely the next best choice. All right, let's swap back over. Sweet cream. Oh, Vape Train Sweet Cream. Vape Train Sweet Cream is really good. I was actually pretty damn impressed with VSO's custard. I don't know what made me think of that from your Vape Train Sweet Cream, but yeah, it is magic. But we were talking about custards earlier. VSO's custard kind of shocked me. It reminds me a lot of Inawera custard, just without that weird magical property that Inawera custard has to kind of kill cream steep times. And it's not quite as rich. All right. I think that about got the strawberry out of there. Probably still going to have a bit of strawberry tinge to it at first. Oh, that's right. Was today is her first day of pre-kindergarten? Working on a frosted sugar cookie with a whisper of pine and cinnamon. That actually does not sound bad. Did you, Chasing clouds, did you have separation anxiety? What's up, Mowgli? I will say this is a lot closer. Turning down that one-on-one golden sponge cake, but I still get a little bit of that kind of golden brownness, which, you know, you're supposed to. It's golden sponge cake, but hoping I could turn it down enough just to get the sponge cake portion of it, but doesn't seem to be the case. So even at, what did I have it at, 1.25%, it's still coming through, but it is a lot closer. Yeah, that's damn good. And in this, the Vape Train Sweet Cream and the VSO Vanilla Cream, they mix so well together. And that one-on-one really just kind of blends them together just enough and then adds that fluffiness to it. I really dig it. Actually, with a steep, this might have nailed it. Because the creamy sponge cake has to have a steep. It really does. It doesn't come out fully until it's had a bit of a steep. Like a custard base of Innerware Custard Premium and TFA Vanilla Custard V2. Sure, that'd be a good. I like Inawera and Flavor Arts Custard Premium. That's like the perfect non-flavored custard base, so you can turn it into whatever you want. I've actually been working on, speaking of doing this strawberry recipe that we did from Chasing Clouds, been working on my strawberry overdose custard here recently. I'm just about got it all done up. I'm really digging that one. And it uses the Inawera FA custard combo as its base, along with some Vape Train strawberry custard. Yeah, this is a lot closer. If after a steep, the creamy sponge cake from Flavor West takes over that little bit of kind of golden brown note, this will be a spot on Twinkie. Needs a bit. I don't know. I feel like it needs that Philadelphia butter cake still. No hornets this year. You murdered them all. Hell yeah. This actually has sweetness in it higher than I normally use. Normally I'm like a 0.5% to 0.25% of flavor sweetness, but I jacked this one up to 0.75. I might even give this one a go before finalizing it at 1% flavor sweetness. My all day vapes is BB custard. What is BB custard? Is that exactly what it's called? Or just blueberry custard? Oh, okay. Don't use the ripsaw on custard juices. Yeah, I would use the ripsaw on custard juices. I haven't busted the ripsaw out in a minute. I think that's that might be one I build up because somebody wanted me to build it on the live build stream back before kind of the fall hit and my work schedule went to shit. And I never got around to it. I was gonna do, and I still might, and then save the ripsaw for the week after, but I really wanted to do kind of underappreciated RDAs coming up. So like I knew I wanted to build up the drop 1.5. So I've got a stainless steel one that I want to stick on my stainless steel Dreamer. And then kind of dig up some other ones that are just somewhat slightly underappreciated, I guess, or not thought of as much as some other ones. Chasing Clouds flavor reviews. Take it easy, buddy. I hope her first day at pre-K went awesome. But yeah, I'll definitely bust the ripsaw out again, and I'm definitely going to do it on a live stream because there was a couple people wanted me to do that. Do that up on a live stream. Yeah, this is so much closer. I hope that Flavor West's creamy sponge cake busts up some. Hey, what's going on, Linda? How you doing? Linda, you about, unless you've been creeping, you about missed most of it. We did Mindfloodz Lemon Custard Cake, Chasing Clouds and Flavor Reviews, Basic Bitch 3 Strawberry Ice Cream, and then I just did up my revision to my Twinkie recipe, but I still don't think my Twinkie recipe is perfect yet. But it is pretty damn close. I don't know. I still think that I still think that Wonder Flavors Philadelphia butter cake would at a low percentage would do this some good. Oh no, Linda, you're all good. I'm just glad you showed up. That's awesome. I had a blast on Noted, by the way. I always have a blast on Noted. Noted's one of those things that, or Noted DX, sorry, is one of those things that I always look forward to. Even with like the donuts, I knew there was only very, very few donut flavorings that I liked. And I knew it was kind of going to be one of those where it's like, all right, well, I'll try this at 3%. Well, and then after I cleaned up the vomit, I went to 1% kind of deal, but it was very, very fun. No problem at all. Now that I have Mondays off, I mean, anytime you guys need me to be on Noted DX, I'll be there. Except for next week. I'm not trying 100 flavors from a flavor house I don't know. I almost feel bad for you guys. Yep. Noted and Noted DX have been a Monday night ritual for quite a while. Yeah, TFS, yeah. How'd you guys find out about that flavor house? Was it something Wayne found out about and I was like, hey, you guys wanna try test 100 flavors? Man, this is so close. This is a point in like recipe development I actually hate is when you're you're almost there. It's so close to being what you want it to be, but there's still just something off, and you can't 100%. I can 100% pinpoint what's off about this, but I can't 100% pinpoint how to solve it. They were posting it, and oh, okay, gotcha. Well, hell yeah. Hopefully, some of them are amazing. But yeah, if I get rid of that golden brown note in this that I get from this, I want the sponge cake part of it, not the golden part of it. And every other yellow cake I've tried is just too yellow cakey and not spongy enough. But this is damn close, and I think maybe that Wonder Flavors Philadelphia butter cake might do the trick at low percentages, hopefully. But if it bleeds into the cream, I'm going to be in trouble. All right, so yeah, I want to reiterate, email me some recipes. Linda, this was something, if you're going to try and catch future live mixing streams here, which normally is going to be every Monday at 1 p.m. So I want everybody just email me some recipes. Try kind of keep it at like 5 recipes. Don't email me like this list of 30 links to all the flavors in ELR, but like keep it at 5, send them in, and then on live mixing, we'll mix some of them up. And like I said, if they're ones that I like, or even if I, don't like, I don't like giving 1-star, 2-star reviews necessarily. But if it's one I really like, I'll definitely leave a review for that recipe, and we'll kind of do it on the live stream, just like this Chasing Clouds flavor reviews, Basic Bitch strawberry ice cream. I really dig that, especially considering it has red touch and strawberry ripe, but I get no green note out of it. So definitely going to go ahead and leave him a review. The lemon custard cake I reviewed as soon as Mindfloodz dropped it, pretty much once I tried it. So yeah, send me some recipes. Keep it at 5. You can email me, jason@sorteal.com. You can hit me up on Instagram. Hit me up on Twitter. My Instagram is @sorteal_JT. And then Twitter is just @Sorteal. You'll be able to find me. Pretty easy. Just hit me up. Give me some recipe ideas. We'll mix them up on live mixing. They can be yours. They can be other people's. Doesn't matter. And then, like I said, we'll do some reviews for things, because I've noticed it's really hard to get people to kind of review your recipes, even if it's just like constructive criticism. So, which I don't even mind that. I would rather somebody review it and tell me what they think is off about it than just not review something at all, because I'm always on the lookout to make things better. Yeah, I know that Philadelphia butter cake is cream cheese. That's what I want. I want that to kind of mix in with the sponge cake somewhat at low percentage, and then hopefully that gets rid of that green note some and moistens up that sponge cake even more. Yeah, Linda, same, 100% same. Because to me, it's all about, I don't know, I was talking about this before, but if I post a recipe, it's really because it's a recipe I think more people would like. I have just hundreds of recipes that I've not posted. I didn't start posting until a couple of years ago, really, but I've been mixing a lot longer than that. And I would much rather, if I'm going to post something, it's because I really want, a broad audience of people to kind of enjoy that recipe. So if there's something I could do to improve it, then hell yeah, I'm all about hearing about that. I might not take that suggestion and use it if it's something that I'm like, well, then at that point, I'm not going to like the recipe because you're suggesting a flavoring I don't like. But if it's something, I think has merit, I'll definitely be like, hell yeah, let me try that, and then update or edit the recipe. I have no problem with that whatsoever. I think if you follow my recipes, I have zero problem editing my recipes. Yeah, this is so close. Oh ho. All right. It is 2:24. I have to go get my kids from school momentarily, so I'm gonna go ahead and call it for today. But tune in tomorrow night at 10 p.m. We're going to do live build session. We'll do kind of underrated or not quite as often thought of RDAs. I may throw the Ripsaw in there, even though it's definitely thought of quite a lot. But we'll definitely do the drop and a few other ones, mainly because I just want to use the drop 1.5 again. But also, I think it'll be pretty cool. So tune in tomorrow, 10 p.m. Also, next Monday at 1 p.m. we'll be live mixing again. You swap over here so we're not just staring at my Twinkie recipe. All right, guys, I appreciate every single one of you all coming out, just chit-chatting, hanging out. Anybody that's tried any of my recipes, I very much appreciate that. Leave me some feedback. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you don't like. Email me some recipes, jason@sorteal.com. Vape on, and I will catch you guys in the next one.